Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Arrow, episode 502, titled The Recruits, which premiered Wednesday, October 12th, 2016 on the CW. Now, guys, big spoiler alert, but quick reminder of my 3 rules for these videos, just in case you're just tuning in now. I am recording this roughly 2 hours after I've finished watching 502 for the first time. Second, all my thoughts and opinions are strictly before I have any outside influences, so this is my genuine first impression of 502 and any of my predictions based off of what was learned in this episode, where I think the direction is going. As well, the only things I own in this video are my thoughts and opinions and any photos of myself if I use any of them in this video. Otherwise, all photos pertaining to the TV show directly, I usually just find them on Google, and then I just Photoshop them with the coloring, just so that it gives a more unified look, and just to make my video more visually appealing. I'm not making any money off of these videos, guys. It's just meant for fun for me, fun for you guys, and it just helps me as well. It's always fun just to go back and see what I first thought about a certain episode, and just to see what my predictions were, and just having it on record that I thought of something so far back a while, if it turns out to be true or not later on. So that's just it, though. So I hope you guys enjoy what I have to say, but let's get started with the 10-minute clock, and let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode. So pretty much this episode has Oliver struggling with training his new recruits. That is Wild Dog, Evelyn Sharp, and Curtis Holt, and getting these new recruits to trust him. Eventually, in the end, he takes the first step by revealing his true identity as Oliver Queen to them, and pretty much showing that he's trying when his brute force as the Green Arrow doesn't really pan out the first few times. For Felicity, on the other hand, she refuses to wear a mask when dealing with recruits. But we do see her try to remind Oliver as to why the original Arrow team worked. And apparently it was because the members each had respect and trust in Oliver Queen. Not in Green Arrow, in Oliver Queen. They trusted and they believed in the man under the mask, which is what Felicity was trying to get Oliver to do with the new recruits, instead of having them build trust and respect for the mask itself. She wants him to go deeper than that. So there's that. Overseas, we see Diggle a bit more in this episode, as he is on a mission in Latvia. He's a sergeant over there. But unfortunately, what appears to be like a training, he's meant to help train the new soldiers or something like that. Turns out things go sideways when he finds himself being framed for some criminal activities that his supposed unit was taking part in. And now they're trying to blame everything on him, as opposed to apparently a lot of deaths on their side because of them were happening, and they needed a fall guy for it. So now Diggle's stuck alone overseas with no backup and no one to back the story that he's actually not the quote-unquote dirty cop, I guess you could say. As for Thea, she's working on Oliver's agenda as mayor, while also trying to help Quentin Lance, who she suspects and also gets confirmation of that is still drinking. So in order to help him, she tries to give him a reason to remain sober. And that is, I believe she gives him, or she offers him the position of deputy mayor, I believe is what it was. I went a little bit quiet when I was watching it, though, but I think that's what it was, hoping that that role would give him a reason to stay sober and all that. So pretty much the mission for the episode was that Oliver had plans for Amertech to fund this free clinic trial idea that he had, only to have the CEO of Amertech making secret arms deals with Tobias Church, who wants to still take over the city, and then have that same CEO being targeted by quote-unquote codename Ragman, who turns out to be the sole survivor of the Haven Rock missile hit that Damien Dark caused. And by that attack and his exposure to radiation, also through this very ancient cloth that he was covered in, allowed him some powers. Apparently, I don't know exactly what he could do. It looked like he can take control of this certain fabric, or it looked like, I don't know how to say it. Hopefully we'll get more into it in the next episode. But yeah. But in the end, though, Oliver actually recruits Ragman to join the team. We don't actually get an official name for Ragman, so for now he's just by his code name. Also in this episode, we officially get the name of the new archer in town, and that is Prometheus. And he really wants no one to kill the Green Arrow. Apparently, he's claiming him for himself. He threatens to buy his church, saying that the only reason you're still alive is because you did not kill the Green Arrow. So there's that. Quickly to flashback, so we still see Oliver in Russia, and he pretty much, his initiation into the Bratva, or part of it, is actually the same test he was trying to do his recruits back in the present day, and that is to ring the bell and try to get past him type thing. And apparently the whole lesson of that was you got to work together as a team in order to get the bell rung. So there's that. It was interesting to see how Oliver was able to convince the other initiates to do it, the teamwork thing, only to have it kind of backfire on him later on when he finds out what happens if you do ring the bell. So there's that. Also, a little tidbit that we find out, Felicity's boyfriend's name is Detective Billy Malone, and he has not met any of Felicity's friends, and he doesn't even know her association with Team Arrow. Because in this episode, she actually goes to him when she needs the piece of cloth to be analyzed, and she has to tell a lie in order to get him to do it for her. So there is that. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode for me? I think for me, it has to be the fact that Oliver recruited Ragman. I wasn't expecting that. I thought he would just be... first off, I didn't think it was a medic... At first, I actually thought it was Prometheus, just because of the mask and like the similar coloring. And then when it found out that it was possible he was a metahuman, that had me thinking that, okay, that means you're either going to have to kill him or you have to find some way for him to get to the pipeline. So the fact that he actually, not only did he call for Ragman as backup during his fight against Church, but then to recruit him later on to be part of the team, I was not expecting that at all. It'll be interesting to see how that happens later on, though. But moving on, my top 3 favorite moments. First favorite moment has to be Oliver's training sessions with his new recruits. It was definitely some tough love that he was showing them, but I really like how it was directly connected to how he had his initiation with the Bratva, or the starting point. I really like how he was trying to bring back what he had learned into this, I guess, the next generation, you can call it. But also, I understand where Oliver is coming from, and the fact that he wanted to kind of like put them out there without actually putting them full out there. Because like, if you can't really beat the Green Arrow in a fight, you're not really fully prepared for when you go on the street. So I understand why he wanted to get them full hand-to-hand contact and combat between him and them. So I get that. He wanted them to be fully prepared and truly know what they're getting themselves up against. So I really like that for sure. Next favorite moment has to be Felicity telling Oliver why she always stayed with the team. What drew her into becoming part of Team Arrow. And it was the fact that she got to know the real Oliver. She didn't stay because of the vigilante persona. She stayed because she knew she knew the man under the mask. She understood she got to see how passionate Oliver was to save the city, how determined he was, how focused he was. And it really, for a brief moment, I could almost see, it almost gave me the feeling that they were still together, in a sense. But it's just great to see that even though they're together or not, that Felicity still has that belief in Oliver. She still has that support in him. And I really like that, and it still really has me wondering why the hell they are not together still. I mean, really, it can't all be over the fact that he hid the existence of his son from her after only knowing for about a few months. So there's that. Anyways, my last favorite moment has to be the bonding moments you get. First one was between Oliver and Ragman on the rooftop, how they were bonding over wanting to continue their father's legacies or try to make avenge their father. So Ragman wanted to take revenge against the CEO because both their fathers sacrificed each other to make sure they survive, so they want to kind of honor that and give meaning to it. So they kind of bonded over that over the rooftop, or at least Oliver gave that as a reason as to why you should trust him, because I know where you're coming from type thing. So I really liked that scene, so that was pretty surprising for me. And then I also liked when Thea was trying to get through to Quentin Lance about how that they have to try something else. They have to try to get him to remain sober. The previous way wasn't working, so getting him focused on something else it was really great to see not only Thea going that extra distance for Quentin Lance, but to also see him actually listen and not fully push her away. So it was just great. It was just great dynamic between both pairs for sure. Moving on very quickly, what was my top 3 peeved moments? I only have the 2. First one was the fact that Diggle's unit had turned against him. So now he's pretty much being framed for murder on the other side of the world. There's the timer. So I'm a little worried for Diggle and what is going to happen to him next since he's overseas. And the second peeve moment was the fact that there was no mention of how Flashpoint affected Diggle after it was revealed on The Flash in episode 302. So pretty much yesterday's episode. I won't say it now, just in case you don't watch The Flash, even though you really should. I sometimes spoil it, but let's just say for that change in Flashpoint, I really don't get how that part of Diggle's life changed because of what Barry did. And I'll just leave it at that. So what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The recruit training for sure. Definitely for that part. Last random questions. 1. Will Ragman, we really need his real name, get a better code name? I sure hope so, because it's even a tongue twister just trying to say it properly and make it sure it doesn't come out as Bagman when it's Ragman. If that makes any sense. Next question. Is Prometheus looking out for the Green Arrow kind of like a guardian angel, or does he really just want to punish the Green Arrow for himself? And if so, who do you think is under the Prometheus mask? Let me know in the comments below if you have a theory about that. I'm interested to see what you think. And I haven't read the comics, so I have no idea if it's taking it from there, or if it's hinting at it, or if it's combining ideas. So, yeah. There's that. And last question. Does anyone from Team Arrow know about Felicity's new detective boyfriend? I mean, someone's got to know, right? You can't just... I mean, does Curtis know? I don't think Oliver knows, because then he wouldn't be wondering if there's still a possibility with him and Felicity. I have no clue. No clues, that's what I'm asking. But if you have an idea, let me know. Comments below. But lastly, I know I said that already, but lastly for sure, predictions. Based off the promo I saw for 503, it looks like we're going to see the new team trying to find their rhythm together. We also see a new crime lord from the looks of it with his own army coming to town. Don't know how long he's going to come for, but according to the synopsis, now that Oliver has his new team, they are ready to hit the streets, but Oliver doesn't feel they are ready. Headstrong Wild Dog defies the Green Arrow's orders and sets out on his own after a new drug dealer, Derek Sampson, guest star Cody Rhodes, starts terrorizing Star City. Sampson proves more powerful than Wild Dog, and it is up to the Green Arrow to go head-to-head with Sampson to save his teammate. So it'll be interesting to see wrestling star Cody Rhodes in the episode. It'll be interesting to see if it's a recurring role or if it's just for the episode itself. But yeah. Off of that and off of what happened in this episode, I predict that Diggle is going to need backup somehow in Latvia, whether it's in the form of the Arrow team itself, the original Arrow team, because I really hope Thea actually jumps back into the speedy suit and goes to help Diggle, or maybe Oliver calls up Roy to ask him for some backup to kind of get their boy back home. Also, I predict that Billy Malone is going to meet Felicity's friends, specifically Oliver, and it's either going to be a very tense show between them, or Oliver's going to restrain himself somehow. I also think that Quentin Lance takes Thea's offer to be the deputy mayor or whatever position that she had offered him. I think it's going to be similar to being Oliver's second command. But there's going to be some struggles for sure. And he also has to figure out if he's still going to be on Team Arrow. Is he still on Team Arrow, like officially part of the team, or is he just helping whenever the situation arises? Again, another question for you guys. And last prediction, Ragman is going to discover Felicity's involvement in the missile dropping down on Haven Rock. Don't know how, don't know when, don't know how he's going to come into all that, though. But I think he's going to find out more about what really happened that led to the destruction of his life as he knew it. So there's that. So what did you guys think of the episode? What did you like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear about it, as well as your own thoughts and theories about what's to come this season. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, don't forget to follow me on Tumblr. Link for that is down below. Follow me on WordPress as well. Those two are linked up together. But for Tumblr, I'll try to be on point, but usually I'll reblog the promos, sneak peeks, web clips, quotes, GIFs. I try to be on point with it, but I'm working on it. So yeah, follow me there if you want to keep up to date on that. And that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Bye for now.